Hey, what's going on, YouTubers? My name is Josh. Coming back a little bit different than the last videos that are on my channel. Starting something a little bit new, something that I feel a little bit more passionate about. Today's topic is narcissistic mothers. And I know, like myself, I'm sure many of y'all have a narcissist mother. Um, these are some characteristics. This is kind of the aftermath that comes about with the narcissist mother, and how it affects you, not only through your childhood, but also in your adult life. Uh, okay, so some traits. Um, Everything is deniable. My mother, she denied everything. It didn't matter what it was, she had to deny it. You could bust her dead wood and she would deny it. She would make up lies. Most narcissist mothers, they play favorites. So if you got siblings, I did. I had a baby brother. He was the golden child. There was nothing I could do. I was always wrong. I was lied on. I'm sure most of y'all might agree with that. They're selfish. And willful. Self-absorbed. Um, I can't tell you. My mother was one of the biggest narcissists that I've ever known in my life. Now, mind you, I'm speaking this way, and I'm not trying to bash on my mother. Me and her don't have no contact, but I have kicked her out of my life. I don't allow her back in my life ever again. But at the same time, I want y'all to know that I love her and I respect her. She taught me life's hardest lessons, and I value that. I value that a lot. I didn't at first, and that's what I want to get to y'all. Through my ascension to the fifth, I've learned to accept the bad things that have happened to me as life lessons, and they were very good life lessons. I've come a long ways. I'm much stronger, mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, than my brothers. I have two. I have a stepbrother and a half brother. I have come a very long way, and I have forgiven my mother 100%. So if she does happen to see this, Mom, I do forgive you. I don't hold you accountable, and I thank you. I thank you very much. Um, but she does play the blame game. I have thousands of events where she has lied on me, kept me out of the family, talked really bad about me behind my back, lied about that. She has stolen things from me, but then calls me a thief. She has no intelligence whatsoever. None. Just absolutely none. She just thinks that she is the smartest thing in the world. And yet, every time I used to ask her for any type of help with anything, she didn't have a clue as to nothing. She had a few answers, 2, 3 answers. And if none of those worked, she was completely clueless and she'd scream at me, "Well, I don't know." So I'm pretty sure that some of y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. A narcissist mother also demeans, criticizes. I can't tell you how much she criticized me, and just belittled me and put me down, and talked really bad about me, either to my face or behind my back. She alienated me from not only my father's side of the family, but from her side of the family as well, from the step side of the family, from all family. She made me out to be the worst person in the world. I am a combat vet, so I could see where, some things, because at the time that I did come back from Iraq, I was very different. I was very sketchy. I used to have like little triggered episodes, especially around 4th of July. Um, but yeah, so very envious, very envious. Boy, she's seeing something very special in me. I can see that now. She definitely saw something very special in me, and she was very envious of how smart I was, how artistic I was. Um, Example, I was very, very musically inclined. My ex stepfather, that one, Todd, my younger brother's father, he used to beat me for 9 years of my life. The moment that he married her, every beating that she would have gotten, I took it for her. And then on top of that, I took my own beatings for things that I don't even know that I did. I took a lot of ass whoopings and didn't even know why I was getting ass whoopings. Um, but he was a guitar player, and he was a lead guitar player, and his brother um, was a bass player, and his good friend was a drummer. And every weekend in our house, it was a full on concert. I'm talking about large ass PV amps and speakers and microphones, the cords, the mixer boards, everything was sitting in the living room and jammed out every weekend. Full on jam out. You can hear it 2, 3 blocks down the street. It sounded like a concert everywhere in the vicinity. Um, but I picked up bass guitar, and I started playing bass guitar and was really picking it up pretty quickly. I'm a Gemini. I'm I'm very quick with stuff. So the moment that I kind of started picking up on that, I wanted to try other things. I guess my mom had gotten a really nice keyboard, and I started playing on the keyboard too. Well, I picked it up faster than she did. Um, I learned actually very fast. And not only did I learn how to play pretty decent, I was also singing along with it. And if anybody knows, that's definitely a hard feat to kick in. It's one thing to play piano or keyboard, but it's a whole nother thing to add music to it. And I was only 13, 14 years old at the time. Um, well, we had went over and was over at Todd's my stepfather's buddy's house, and I got to playing with the drums and found out that I really am good at the drums too. I love beats. In fact, I make my own beats now. Um, and so it was just one instrument after another I was picking up. And I don't, my mom lies. So nothing that comes out of her mouth I feel is true anymore. So I come home from school one day, and all the musical instruments except for my stepfather's guitar was gone. And the bass guitar was a Christmas present of mine. So why that disappeared, I have no idea. That should have never been taken from a child. But it was stripped from me. And I never picked up music after that. Shame, because I probably could have went pretty far with it. Um, my mother was very envious of my athletic abilities. And I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but as a child, I'm a star seed. Okay. I'm very, I'm very quick with everything, and I learn, and I pick up really quick, and I do very well at it. I picked up baseball, instructional baseball. I started off at 6 years old. Uh, it wasn't due to my mother; it was due to my stepfather pushing me into a sport, and thank God he did. Honestly, I mean, Yes, I took a lot of ass beatings from him, and a lot of unsanctioned ass beatings, the really nasty ones. Um, but I got more love from him than what I did from my own mother. My mother was very cold and distant. Honestly, I could feel the hate. Uh, I can remember now that I'm fully awake. I can remember the hate that she had for me while I was in her stomach. I could feel it growing inside her. I I was born with it. Um, that's why I never flocked to her. I was always a daddy's boy. I never really wanted to be around her because I recognized how much she hated me. She hated me because a 22-year-old woman just got pregnant, and her whole life is flipped upside down. She's doesn't like the guy that she's pregnant by, and on top of that, now she's having to marry the guy. He My father at the time was a abusive alcoholic. He's not no more. He's doing a lot better in some ways. Um, but she just ultimately hated me. And throughout that, I can remember all the hate. And I never wanted to be around her. I don't have fond memories of my mother. My mother was very gruesome to me. She used me as a weapon, and somehow I sensed it. Somehow I knew it. And I guess but when she divorced my father, I had nobody else to flock to. So yes, of course, I leaped to her. And then she puts me with another stepfather 6 months after she leaves mine. And this one liked to beat me. He beat me like a redheaded stepchild. Uh, but he did teach me baseball. He got out there, he coached me, he played with me. He was one of the coaches, and I picked up baseball really, really good. I remember seeing Don Mattingly's stats. I played at the same little league baseball field as Don Mattingly when he was a kid. In fact, my grandmother actually went to school with his parents. I ended up meeting Don Mattingly some years later when I was a little bit older, and got to hang out with him for a minute. My stats actually were way better than his as a kid. So my age and his age, they had printed up a little baseball card, and it had a picture of Don Mattingly when he was a child, and had all of his stats on the back. And it was the coolest thing for me because I love Don Mattingly. He was a big hero in my field of baseball. So seeing these stats and seeing how I was way up here, it gave me a lot of incentive to keep going. So I pushed and I pushed and I went all the way into Little League. But the more I got into it, the more my mother she made it not as fun. And then on top of that, it was coaches. My coaches were really doing me wrong. One coach was embezzling, stupid stuff like that. But she made it weird. I don't know. It's hard to explain, but I could see that now looking back. I could see she was very envious of just everything about me. I was smart. I was intelligent. I was quick. I could pick up on things, and she didn't have that. She was not talented at all. She had no skills. She had no education whatsoever. Everything she started, she stopped. She couldn't finish one damn thing. One. She was a pest technician for 15 years, and that was the only thing that she had going for her. But even then, she bitched and whined and complained that it was hurting her back carrying a canister, and it was just a lot of lies and bullshit. With that being said, a narcissistic mother can do many things to a child. Um, they they appear as perfect moms to the outside world. Okay, so if you don't know if your mom is, I'm getting ready to give you a little list here, and take a look. Take a look for yourself, and then you'll start needing to take a look at yourself in a deep way, because this stuff has long-term effects. Okay, it's taken me years. I'm 39. I'll be 39 in June. It's taking me years to get over this. There's a saying that they always have. Okay, most really good moms don't need to say things like this. I did the best I could raising you. Okay, you did the best you could raising me. Right. I get that you were young. I get that I was your firstborn. But even when I told you about the things that you fucked up on, and came forward and came clean and honest with you, and gave you an opportunity to fix these things with me, you decided to lie on me more, steal my child, run my name into the ground more, turn everybody against me. So, way to go fixing it, right? But she did the best she could raising me. So, key sign right there. She used to always call me sensitive or dramatic. When something was bothering me and it was really tearing me up inside, something big to me, but it was minuscule to her. That's a key sign. When they say, "Oh, you're too sensitive," or you're just being dramatic. My mother never got to manipulate my father against me, because honestly, my father does not like her. He sees her for what she is, and of course, she stripped me from him, and it tore him to pieces. Tore him right to pieces. So yeah, there was no manipulating me or him against me, but she did manipulate lies and say that he didn't care for me as much as what he actually does. That he doesn't love me. That's why he moved away and he doesn't come around. So there is different manipulation tactics. You just gotta kind of see for yourself. But generally, the mother will always manipulate a father in some sort of way, to make him look bad, or to make the kid feel like he doesn't love you. So just keep an eye out for things like this. They are never satisfied with anything, no status of their life. They have no satisfaction. Everything is just dull and dim and dingy and dark and just really, and they know it and they hate it. So they're just never satisfied. They use a lot of passive aggressive manipulation. So it's kind of like a soft, was them candies, sweet and sour? Yes, a very sweet way of approaching it, but with a very sour and cold, bitter taste to it. Oh, just nasty. If you don't know, then it's probably not going down with you, or you're just really not aware, which I'm going to be making videos on awareness tips, which will help give you better awareness for everything around you. Constantly speaks ill of others. My mother she had nothing nice to say about anybody, and if she did say something nice, oh, there was an underlying factor there. Yeah, it was all fake in front here, and then it was like, I always got blamed for her misery. So that was another one. Blames you for their misery. Okay, you are not to blame. I promise you. Whatever you think, I don't care what you've done. More than likely, 9 times out of 10, you are not to blame. Constantly compares you to siblings. Oh my God. She didn't never compare me to my brother Michael, but the whole family knew that my brother was the golden child. And that kid fucked up more than I did. That kid was more disrespectful than I was. I couldn't be disrespectful. I couldn't do half the things that my brother did because I got beat the hell up. And I'm not talking about no little ass whooping. I'm talking about beat the hell up. I mean, quite a few times my mother threw knives at me, chucked skillets, cast iron skillets, backhanded me with a ring, diamond ring, right into my face, split my lip quite a few different times. So things like that, yeah, definitely keep an eye out for. Just constantly disappointed in everything in life. I'm a disappointment. This is a disappointment. This is a disappointment. It's just everything's a disappointment, and that's how they live. Narcissistic mothers just live in disappointment. It is something that God puts in front of us to train us. I hate to say it, but it's for your own good. Okay, if you can learn to grow from it, you will be that much stronger than people that don't have a narcissistic mother. Promise you. And they are just generally playing a martyr or a victim mentality. They live in a victim mentality. Everything is somebody else's fault. I can't tell you how many times I heard about my stepfathers, my father, my stepfather, and now my new ex-stepfather. They just divorced after 20 years, and it was her fault, all her fault, and yeah, and she just still, to this day, on her little pages, I have seen that she still blames everything on everybody else. She's a mother of 2 sons, but she does not acknowledge me whatsoever. She has a supposed granddaughter that was stolen from her. Yeah, karma's a bitch. Actually, she lost custody of her because my daughter doesn't want to be nowhere around this bitch. She's a very evil person. And when I say evil, I'm like literally meaning like she could sit on the throne of hell. Evil. Okay. And I do love you, Mom. I do. And I'm sorry that I have to speak this way about you, but the fucking truth hurts. So getting back into narcissistic mothers, they use kids as scapegoats. Okay, I was a scapegoat. Everything. Oh my God, I was used as a weapon against men. I was used as a tool to get into low-income housing. Single mom with a kid. I was used for a weapon against my grandmother. I was used for any type of charity, any type of help. All she did was use me as a tool or a means to get somewhere in life. And without me or a kid, she couldn't get nowhere in life. She won't make it very far. They scapegoat children. Okay. I'm sorry. It sucks that I can't say anything more than that. It really does suck. Even looking back at my life, I've got I'm writing a book, as well as I'm putting together an audio video book of my early life on through my entire adult life. But you are portrayed to family members in the most negative light possible. The scapegoater goes out of their way to destroy your credibility by telling anyone who will listen how bad you are. This serves two purposes. It proactively aligns people on their side should you try to seek out support, and it unifies people to reinforce their strategy to make you believe to make them believe you are bad, to make you believe that you are bad and worthless. Wow, yeah, that happened right after I come back from the military. After I come back from Iraq, my mother told me that her son was dead and that she wished I had died too. Yeah, that's a really awesome thing to say to a child. But she turned every one of my family members against me. So I never cared for them. I don't give two shits about none of my family out there, honestly. I tried with them many a times, and they just brushed me off. So yeah, fuck you too. I love you, I do, and I forgive you, but fuck you too, and you all can stay out of my life. The fact of the matter is that when you put a child through this stuff, I went through a lot of different emotions. I was emotionally numb. Relationships were not very good on my part. I was a mommy seeker, I guess. I always went for specific women that had like mommy tendencies. That, it was weird. I'm very independent. I'm not like my brother. My brother, he depends upon women. I was dependent upon emotional nurturing, not the financial. My brother couldn't take care of himself to save his own life. He had to go into the military just to have somebody take care of him. I, on the other hand, was completely different. I was looking for the emotional nurturing, that of which I did not get none of my entire life. So, that plays a really big role in a child's life. So, mothers, watch how you treat your children, okay? And make sure that you give them plenty of nurturing, because that shit does mess a person's head up, all right? Scapegoat children verbal abuse, okay? You're so lazy, stupid, and irresponsible. We wear every negative adjective that a mother could summon upon. Just everything that you could call a child, that's what they call us. So there's a lot of verbal abuse and a lot of emotional neglect. These things can ruin a kid. I know, because I've spent a lot of time in jail. I've probably got about, 3 or 4 years in the county. I've never done prison time, although I was looking at 30 years at one time. Luckily, I was able to beat that and save my own ass. But yeah, so simple things like that can really, I'm sure most of the men in prison have some mommy issues somewhere down the line. There are healing steps from this. First step in healing from narcissistic abuse is realizing that you have been abused. You have to realize this, okay? Without this, and that's where self-awareness comes in, okay? You have to be self-aware enough to know that you're being abused, okay? Generally, most people don't even know that they're being abused. I'm actually friends with a lot of people that don't even know what's going on in their own life. Literally, they're completely blind. I love them, but they are blind. My father is definitely one of them. I've had to repeat this numerous times, what a narcissistic woman was and what they were doing to him. Choom! Went right over his head 100 times. And he's still doing it. Still doing it. Still in a circle. In a hamster wheel. Continuously. Can't get off the hamster wheel. I think there might be a little tiny shimmer of light for him now. He's starting to recognize it. I don't know if he's going to do anything about it yet. Generally there comes a recognition of it, but you're still so battered inside that you can't find the strength to get off the hamster wheel yet. So it might take him another year or so being battered and abused by this same woman before he finally does say, "I'm enough." But being self-aware is key. You have to be self-aware in order for you to even know that these things are happening to you. Once you recognize that you're being abused, you have to accept that they were putting on an act. Okay? This isn't real love. This isn't something that is curable. Narcissism is not curable. Okay? Simple as that. When they are a full-blown narcissist, okay? Everybody has narcissistic tendencies, okay? Empaths, like myself, we adapt narcissistic tendencies because when you're living in a den of wolves and you're a sheep, you better start blending or you're going to get ate up. I see a lot of people out here that it doesn't look like they blended too well. I was very adaptable, so I blended in with the wolves. But I am a sheep. I'm proud to say that I'm a sheep. I'm a sheep in a sort of a sense. I'm very kind-hearted. I'm very loving in nature. But you step on my toes, and I will fucking bring the wolf out, no doubt. I am a battle-hardened warrior. Okay. So there is definitely a dark sheep in my soul. But once you realize that they're putting on an act, that this persona that they've got, this fake persona is fake, you can start dealing with some of these issues in your life. You were dealing with a very disordered individual, very disordered. They function in life and in their relationships by a way of manipulation and corruption. Okay, this is what narcissists do. This is what they were made to do. Okay, the narcissists were made by God for a very specific purpose: to train empaths. Simple. They are here to train empaths. When I was in the military, we had drill sergeants that trained us. So associate a drill sergeant or a PE coach or a basketball coach with a narcissist. They have one purpose and one purpose only: to coach you, to train you. Simple. Okay. When you look at it in a negative way, that's how you're going to perceive it. And that's where it all goes bad for you. That's where everything starts being really painful and emotionally painful. That's where it starts becoming a psychological trauma. But you change your perception of it. They're just a football coach, a basketball coach, a life coach. They're hard. They're extreme. But sometimes in life, you have to be pretty extreme. I mean, Earth is pretty rough. I'm not going to lie. I mean, look at the world today. You know, we got a lot of ate up people out there in the world. It takes some hard training. So just change your perception, change it to a positive, and just recognize that mother or that father or that girlfriend or that husband as a life coach or a basketball star, and it'll help you get past a lot of these issues. Okay. you have to accept that this was not your fault and that this is the way they relate to everyone. Okay, it's not gender specific. It's not because you're a girl or you're a male or you're white or you're black. It has nothing to do with none of that, because they treat literally everybody like that unless they're intimidated by a very strong empath. When they're intimidated by a strong empath, an empath that is very educated and boundaried up, well, then they are very intimidated and they will not do that to a sin. Some will. I still get tried by some of them. I mean, they still think they can outsmart me, and even though I bust them on their shit, they still think that they've got away with something. Retards. Anyway, they are just broken people. Realize that these people that are narcissists, or your mother's a narcissist, there is nothing personal about this, okay? In fact, I want you to look at it just like this. They're envious of you. They're jealous. You have something that they don't. And what they're really saying is, I want to be just like you. I hate the fact that I'm not you. And one day, when you grow up and you become somebody, I'll say, I'm sorry. And I want to know how that you did it. They'll end up coming back to you. And they'll want to be just like you in so many different ways. There's a lot of people that watch my stuff and friend me on my channels and my Facebook and my Instagram. I honestly didn't think that they would ever friend me, but for some reason, they have, and they watch my stuff. I get little peepers in there. I can tell, and then it's nice because some of these people, it's already starting to change their life, which is really awesome. Because I don't care who you are in this world. I don't care if you're a narcissist. I don't care if you're an empath. I don't care if you hate me. I don't care if you like me or love me or whatever. If you go onto my page and you find something that inspires you to put it on your page, to fake it to front it, by all means, do it. I'm not scared. Take it, steal it, whatever. You ain't hurting my feelings. Why? Because the more you spread this stuff, the more positivity we spread in this world. And that's all I'm looking for. You know, we got World War III on the brink. And I'm a vet, so I know it's on the brink, okay? And our governments are literally trying to do this to lower our vibrations so we'd all fall into this trap. They want us in this trap. They don't want us, our spirits all high and mighty and feeling good. Why? Because then they lose. I'm playing a game against the government. I'm playing a very serious game against the government. I'm here to raise the consciousness and the vibrations of every man, woman, and child on this planet so we don't fall into a nuclear war. That's what they're pressing for. But if that person who turns that key and presses that button, because all they are privates and low bottom soldiers, if they have hope in this world, if they have love in this world, trust and believe, they won't turn that key. But you assholes out there that treat people like shit, all because somebody else treated you like shit, you're the reason why they'll turn that key. Think about that. You don't want to get nuked? Start being nice to people. Because you never know. That guy might be the trigger man. We are getting really close to it. From what I'm understanding, President Putin's already talking about nuclear. He's putting his men into a stage of nuclear awareness. Okay, there's your first sign, people. Let's start treating people a little bit better. Let's raise the positivity in the world. If we can raise the positivity, we're not going to have to worry about these things. War won't happen. Most of the people don't want war. Let's keep it that way. Let's keep it going. So use things off my page. If it inspires you to inspire another, please, let's do so. I love you all. I don't want to see nobody get hurt on this planet. I don't want to see nobody die. I don't want to see nobody go to war. I've been through it. My friends have been through it. My brother looks like he's about to go through it now that he's in the military. I don't want to see something bad happen to him. So let's recognize these things. Let's start to change the world. It's one random act of kindness. That's all it takes. One. Just being nice to that next person. So what? So what? Somebody treats you like shit. So what? People treat me like shit all day long. And I still treat them with a smile. You know why? That shit kills your enemies faster than anything. It does. When they see that nothing that they're doing affects you, because you got it like that, because you hard, you good, you solid. Oh man. It tears your enemies' asses up. You know that saying that Jesus used to, somebody smacks you in the cheek, you give them the other one. Hey, you damn right. Go ahead. You ain't gonna hurt me. Come on, get it. Have a good day. I'm telling you, it actually really does work. Now, I'm not saying allow somebody to really smack you, because you do have to stand up for yourself. You do have to protect yourself. But in a general sense, when people treat you like shit, just continue to keep handing them a smile. You'd be surprised at how that one smile might actually change their day. Some people go through a lot more than others. And, one good smile. I've already seen it. I've affected a lot of people. They were in a shitty mood, and I come up and I'm just glowing, and I'm so full of life and love. Their whole day gets shifted completely upside down, and where they was having a bad day, now they're having a really great day. Okay? You can really make a change in this world, and it doesn't take millions of dollars to make that change. All right? Narcissist mothers, they leave a trauma bond, okay? And in this trauma bond, child experiences abuse and rejection and lack of love growing up. And then it moves on to child associates a lack of love as being loved. It's weird, but yes, it is true. My lack of love and the beatings that I got, I took that for love. So when my brother was born, they just kind of like forgot about me. Like I was nobody. I was not even a blip on the radar. So yeah, I acted out and made a lot of commotion so I can get them ass whoopings again. I didn't want to get ass whoopings, obviously, because I'm a kid, but here, yeah, that's exactly what I did. I went out of my way to cause so much shit that I took ass whooping, even more ass whoopings, just so I could get noticed, because I associated ass whoopings and beatings for love. That's some fucked up shit, people. All right? We are here as adults to train our children, to teach them all the things that we didn't get to learn in life, okay? Not to give them whatever in the hell they want. That is not what you do with a kid. Wake up, people. Some of y'all just sit around and you yell at kids and you tell them what to do. Stop that shit. Get off your ass. It doesn't take much to go play with a kid. I do it all day long. Stop being lazy. Stop yelling at your kids. Clean up your room. Get up. Go teach them how to clean the damn room. Get up. Go play with them for an hour. You ain't got to play with them all damn day long. We all know that you do have a life. And you got other things that you can be doing. But it doesn't take much to go play with your kid and give a little extra time to a kid. Teach them something. They thrive off of it. They love it. They'll love you even more if you teach them anything. Kids thrive off of learning. If not, then they become the disruptive little assholes you're yelling at. You wonder why they're running around screaming and acting all rampant? Give them something to do. Give them something to learn. Teach them something. Teach them things that you didn't get to teach, that wasn't taught to you. Teach them really cool things. I love teaching kids. I go out of my way to teach somebody else's kid. Because I love it. The more I can teach a kid, that kid will grow up with that lesson and be that much better. Why do you think we stopped evolving, people? Why do you think everything has just come to a real slow, dull existence in life? Because we got parents that don't know their ass from a hole in the ground. Yeah, I'm talking to you. If you feel some type of way about this message, yeah, it's you I'm calling out. It is what it is. Sorry. Get off your ass. Stop being lazy. Start teaching these kids something better in life than how to hold a pistol and like my daughter's mother, teaching my daughter how to booty shake like a stripper. Stop it. Stop. Teach them something real. Teach them something tangible. Narcissistic mothers are the worst. They're good for training, but to a kid, no. It's bad. Stop. Please. I'm begging you. Love your kid. I don't even get to be with mine. Mine has gotten stripped from me. Not because of anything I've done. My family wanted me to turn my life around. I turned my life around. Guess what? I still don't get to see my kid. Every time I even try, I get maybe a 30-minute visit with her, or I've got to be constantly monitored. I can't take my kid out anywhere. I can't just be me and my daughter. No, it has to be me and my daughter and them, and I can only do it for so long. I can only be around for so long, because then the family doesn't want me around, and and then they kick me out, and they, my stepdad, yeah, there was another one. He promised me something different, and guess what? Now, because he lives at home with his mom and with my daughter, his mom doesn't like me. So now I'm not allowed over there at the house. Right. Just another bullshit excuse as far as I'm concerned. But it is what it is. I'm going to teach my daughter, the only thing that I can teach her while not being with her is how to chase your dreams. You want to teach your kids something? Teach them something that they don't learn in school. They don't teach shit in school. They don't. Public schools are meant to keep us down. Children like us, poverty level people, it's meant to keep us down. That's why they don't teach success. That's why they don't teach how to chase dreams. That's why they teach all the garbage. Duh. You didn't see that? You didn't notice that? Come on, people. Wake up. There's so much information on the internet, and all you spend your time doing is snapping selfies for TikTok and and Snapchat and Instagram photos. Get a life, please. You're the very reason why this world is shit right now. Okay? Learn something and then teach it to somebody else. That is the natural way of life. That is the natural way of life. Children learn to numb their emotions from this. Okay? It goes in a scene. I numbed my emotions. I was so numb. I didn't even know what emotions was until I went to a class. Mr. West finally opened me up to something. I've been through many a group therapies, many a group sessions, and not once did they ever teach me something tangible. But Mr. West did. And boom, next thing I know, it was like a floodgate of emotions. Just came right out. I didn't even know what they were. I couldn't even process them. Most people don't know what to do with them emotions. And that's going to be a whole nother video that I'll do. Narcissistic mothers and fathers, generally mothers though, because there's a bond between a mother and a child. And if the child doesn't get it, it will cause psychological and emotional damage. Then the child begins to blame themselves and say, well, these things must be my fault. It must be my fault that this happened. And yeah, I blamed myself for everything. For the longest time, I hated myself. I don't even know how. Honestly, I don't even know how I'm still alive, to be quite honest. I attempted suicide 5 times and 5 failed times. God really wants me here on this planet, okay? I am a chosen one. I am a star seed. There is a real reason that I am here today. I have put a gun in my mouth and pulled the trigger. The stupid damn round, I was shooting my gun underwater, and I believe one of the round that I tried shooting, I believe somehow it got water inside of it, or it was just a plain dud. But it went click and did not go boom. I have cut my wrist. I don't know if you can see it or not. There's a big one right here. Yeah, right there. I ate 120 Flex Real. They are muscle relaxers. I ate 120 of them, a whole bottle, swallowed them, chased them with vodka. I dumped an entire half gallon of Fireball down my throat on my birthday. I was trying to get alcohol poisoning. Things like that. And this is what you're doing to your kids. This is what's the make of it. No bullshit. This is what's coming. And the more you do these things to your children, this is what you have to look forward to. This is the future of your child speaking at you. Okay? Think of it like that. So if you don't want your child making a video of you one day, calling you out on your shit, making you look really bad, I'd suggest you change your ways, because we're coming into the age and era of videos. And everybody who's ever done me wrong, I'm not calling people out to hurt them. I'm just simply telling my life and the effects and trauma from it and how to heal from it. Okay? The healing factor just comes from recognizing these things. And once you recognize these things, you can start making changes in your life. You cut the people out of your life that are doing the damage. Cut them. I don't care who they are. Daughter, mother, father, grandmother. Cut them. Unfortunately, in my life, it was every single one of them. All of them. My brothers were shit. They're shit bags. I can't tell you how many times I've looked out for them and done so much for them, and yet they do me the way they done. My mother, my stepfather, who I actually really did care about. I didn't never think that I would, but I really started to care about him. He's a master mason. He's a Shriner, and he's a junk ass motherfucker. He really is. He's doing me a favor though. He's taking care of my daughter, and that's all that I can ask for right now. Okay, so I do appreciate that. But as far as standing up for what he said he was going to do for me, he's completely let me down on that one. Of course, everybody in my family and my life has. I can't trust my wives. I can't trust my brothers. I can't trust my mother. I can't trust nobody in my life. And that's what it comes down to, people. You have to learn to be cool with yourself. You have to be dependent upon yourself. Because all in all, nobody's going to have your back in this world like you have your back. Okay? And the stronger you develop a bond, the more you develop a strong bond with yourself, the better and stronger you become in life. I never thought in a day that I would ever own my own company, and I do. It's growing slowly, but I just started it, and it's already growing, and I've got a long ways to go, and I put in a lot of work, and it's a lot of happy work. I don't mind putting in work for my stuff. I enjoy my time now. But I never thought that I would ever achieve anything like this. I never thought that I would achieve any of the sort of the healing that I've done. So that alone is the biggest success of my life, was just getting this healed, getting this under control. Controlling your mind, it's a feat. It is. You get this on lock, and you'll own the world. You'll control everything around you. Everything bends around me now. And if it doesn't belong in my life, period. These are things that over time you will come to understand. I'm going to do many more videos just like this. I'm going to go ahead and cut this video now, and I will pick up again in the next video. All right, take care.